Hey guys, happy Monday. So we're going to start on lesson 5, chapter 9, I believe it is. If you don't open up your book to page 587. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to start crazy. I need to be back in the classroom. All right, so I'll give you a minute to get to page 587. All right, so it's problem solving, which means it's word problems. With word problems, we know that we really need to slow it down, think about what they're asking us before we can solve anything. Okay, so the strategy for today is we're going to work backwards to solve a problem. All right, so I'm going to give you the problem of the day. I'm going to give you a minute to think about it, and I'm not going to give you the answer until the end of this video. I know, mean, aren't I? All right, so you have some numbers, 3, 5, 6, and 10. You're going to use each number once. And you need to write two fractions that are equivalent to each other. Take a moment to think about it. And again, you're making two fractions, and they need to be equivalent of each other. And you can only use each number once. So take a moment and think about it. Okay, you know your fraction, you have a numerator and you have a denominator. And remember what equivalent fractions are. Okay. All right, I'm going to move on. The last slide here, I will go ahead and give you the answers. Hopefully you have it. Okay, so if you're on page 587, we have learned a strategy. So we have Nathan used sunflower for a cake recipe. Love it. He used 1/4 of the bag of flour for a bread recipe. There is 2/4 of the bag left. So we need to know what fraction of the bag did Nathan use for the cake. Well, first of all, they're talking about everything in fourths. So it looks like they took that bag of flour and cut it into 4 equal pieces. Okay, that's our denominator. All right, so here's the facts that we do know. Well, we know Nate used some flour for a cake recipe. We know 1/4 of the bag was for a bread recipe. And I know that there was 2/4 of the bag left over. And what do we need to find out? Well, we need to find a fraction of the bag of flour that was used for the cake. And I'm sure most of you automatically have it already, okay? But I do want to talk about how we would take a problem and work it backwards. So let's go to the next screen. And that is still on page 587. Okay, so what we did here is they took the bag of flour right here and they cut it into 4 equal parts. We know 1/4 was for bread. We know 2/4 is what's left over. Well, if that's 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, that's 3/4. So then the cake, only thing that would be left for the cake is 1/4. All right, so we know 1/4 of the bag of flour was used for the cake. And finally, and I know you guys don't like to do this, we always need to check our answers. Working with math, it would really benefit you to always go back and think and make sure that your answer makes sense, especially word problems. So here's what they have for check. So the sample answer is, yes, it does make sense because 1/4, which is for the bread, 2/4, which is the flour left over, plus 1/4 that we think is the cake would equal 4/4 or the whole bag of flour. Pretty easy, right? That's what I thought. Okay, turn to page 588. All right, here's our problem. We have Lily, Noah, and Kaylee are sharing a pizza. Okay, we've all done that. Noah ate 2/6 of the pizza. Kaylee ate 1/6 of the pizza. And we know that there's 2/6 of the pizza left. So what we need to find out is what fraction of the pizza did Lily eat? Well, let's take a moment to think about what facts we do know. We need to think about what do we need to find out? How are we going to solve this problem? And then we also need to think about, does our answer make sense? Okay? So, I know that Noah ate 2/6 of the pizza. So that means the pizza was cut into 6 equal pieces. So he ate 2 of them. I know Kaylee ate 1/6 of the pizza. Well, that's 3/6 right there. I also know 2/6 of the pizza was left over. So I need to find out what fraction of the pizza Lily ate. Well, if I work backwards, here's my 1 whole pizza. We cut in 6 equal pieces. The 2, 6 right here is what Noah ate. I know that Kaylee ate 1, 6, which is right here. And I know that 2, 6 of the pizza was left over. So the only thing possible for Lily to have eaten would have been 1, 6. Make sense? Okay. All right, so we need to make sure that our answer makes sense. And again, this is the important part. So again, yes, it does make sense because 1, 6 plus 2, 6 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 6 equals the whole. Okay, pretty simple. All right, now if you turn your book to page 589, this is where you're going to pick up with the Google slide presentation. Okay, you can go back and look at the first few slides, 1 through 6, to go over the problem again. But here is where you're going to pick up and do your work. So when you come out of the video and you go into Google Slide, all you need to do is click here, type your answer here, and here's your problem. And then you've got another page here. Here's your problem. Click in here to type your answer. Your third problem is right here. Click right in here in order to type your answer. And guys, you can change the font, you can change the color, okay, as long as it's within there. All right, your next problem, and the next problem will begin on page 590. Here's your word problem. Type in your answer. And guys, I just want your basic answer. You don't need to prove it to me, okay? And then problem 5 is right here. Here's your problem. Click in this text box in order to write your answer. Problem 6 is right here. Again, click in the text box. Now, the last problem is a little bit different. I couldn't squeeze it all, okay? I had to kind of shrink it up. You've got your problem here, and you've got your box here. We have costumes. 8 costumes takes 24 buttons, 9, so forth. You have to figure out how many buttons it will take for 21 costumes and how many buttons for 22 costumes. Do me a favor, though. I do not have a text box here. Follow the arrow, type right in here, and you can type in how many buttons, okay? All right, now back to problem of the day. Again, we had to come up with 2 fractions, they were equivalent, and you could only use each number once. Well, let's see if you got it. We have 3/6 and 5/10. They're equivalent because they both represent a half. We've used a 3 only one time, the 6 one time, the 5, and the 10 one time. Good. All right. So once you finish this on a Google Slides, I need you then to go back into Prodigy. I set up an assignment last week. There's 48 problems, okay, on fractions. Some of you, a couple of you, I think, are done. Most of you haven't started. So I do need you to get in there and start working on that. All right, I don't know about you. I'm ready to come back. I don't like teaching this way, but I'm trying. I'm probably going to try to open Zoom on Wednesday. So if you have any questions, you can pop in and just ask questions. More information will come out for that. All right, guys, if you need anything, text me or email me, not text me because you don't have my phone number. Okay, but just email me. Take care. See ya.